This
Yes,
conference will now be recorded.
You are okay, so let us start. So yesterday we were discussing regarding the P2P cycle, procure to pay cycle. Okay, let me go to the 18, right? So yesterday we were discussing regarding the procure to pay cycle. So we were discussing regarding the what and all the steps that are available in the procure to pay cycle. There are 7 steps. One is create a purchase requisition, then vendor selection process, then various procurement documents creation, then monitoring of those procurement documents which we were able to create, then goods receipt, then invoice verification, then payment run. These are the steps that are involved in the procurement cycle. The basis for the procurement activity is this particular procurement cycle only. If you go for any one of the procurement process, all these steps are involved. The only difference is there are various minor differences between one process to another process, but the basic steps are these 7 steps only. Also, we discussed in the procurement cycle, requisitions can be created by any departmental persons, and the step number 2, vendor selection process, and step number 3, creation of the various procurement documents and monitoring of the purchasing documents will be done by the procurement department people. Goods receipt process will be done by inventory management. Invoice verification and payment run will be executed by the finance department. So even though this we are calling as the procure to pay cycle, but various people are involved in this execution of the procure to pay cycle. Based upon the procure to pay cycle, we were discussing yesterday various types of business scenarios. We were able to discuss one of the business scenario, that is procurement of the materials for the stock purpose. Then we have where I have written. Okay, so we were able to discuss the procurement of the material for the stock purpose. In this, we have the domestic procurement, we have the import procurement. We will see how the domestic procurement and the import procurement will be executed. What are the differences between each and every process? We were discussing the subcontracting process. We also discussed what exactly the subcontracting process. This is a little bit of introduction to the process, but we will go through the each and every process in deep when we are executing these scenarios. Then consignment procurement process. What is consignment procurement process? In companies, there will be some regular materials. So I can divide the materials that I am using into the companies into various categories or various types. Let us say in my company, I have some 20 different materials. Out of 20 different, I can classify these 20 different materials into various categories. Like you can call it as BERTS, BERTS. When you say B is nothing but out of these 20 materials, 4 materials can be categorized as a blocked. B is nothing but a blocked. And E means essential. Essential. R means regular. Then T means temporary. Temporary. And S means surplus. Okay, so out of 20 materials, I have 4 materials as blocked category, 4 as essential, 4 as regular, 4 as temporary, and 4 as surplus. So what is blocked category? There are 4 materials which will be falling under blocked. Means you are not going to use those materials. Those are permanently blocked. Let us say in your organization, you are producing one air conditioner from the last 10 years. That is 1 ton air conditioner. Okay, so this particular 1 ton air conditioner, you are producing from the last 10 years and you have stopped producing this particular production. So then there will be some leftover material which will be available in the storage department for this particular one-time air conditioner spare parts. So that particular leftover materials, you can call it as a blocked materials. Either you need to scrap them or use them as a spare materials. Spare materials means if somebody came for the air conditioner repair, so you replace that particular material by using these spares that are available. That's it. That is how you need to dispose these particular materials. What is essential category? Essential category is nothing but at any cost, these materials you need to keep it in stock. These materials are essential for your production purposes. Why? Because these materials may be having some of the import materials, you can keep them within the stock at any cost, at any moment of time. If this particular material is not available, you may lose the production. So that is the reason these are some of the critical materials which you are storing in your company as a stock, which are nothing but essential materials. Huh? Yeah, mandatory, like mandate. Then what is regular? Regular means these materials are utilized in your production processes regularly, daily use materials. Then temporary means once in a month or once in a year. You are going to buy that particular material, then stop it. So it is a once in month or once in a year. So these materials will be procured from the vendors and utilized in your production processes once in a year. Mean these are not regular materials. Whenever there is a requirement, you are going to buy it and close it. Yeah. Surplus means huge stocks. Means you need only 10 numbers, but you purchased 200 numbers and keep it in your warehouse. It happens. So those are the some of the surplus materials. So here there is one category of the material known as regular category, right? So if this particular material is a regular usage material, you need not to create individual purchase orders for every month or for every day or for every week. So instead what you will do, you will come to an agreement with the vendor stating that I will ask the vendor, I will allocate some space within my company. Let us say this is my company and this is my company. This is the stores department of my company or the plant. Within the stores department, I will allocate this particular space to one of the regular material vendor. Let us say there is one material bearing. So one vendor is supplying that particular material bearing. So I will allocate the space only for the storage of the bearing. Storage of bearing. I will ask the vendor to keep at any moment of time in this particular place maximum of some 1 lakh pieces of the bearing. Means I just allocated some space, vendor will bring 1 lakh pieces and he will keep it over here. And he only monitoring the stocks, means he only will take care of, nobody should come over there and steal the material. So whatever may be the care he has to take, he will take care of everything. I am not at all responsible to monitor the stocks. I am not at all, and this is not my stock also. It is the only vendor stock. Vendor is owning the stock. It is not my company's own stock. Whenever there is a requirement from the production department to utilize these materials, let us say from the production department, somebody came to the storage department and he is asking 10,000 numbers of bearing. Then as a stores in charge, I will ask the vendor who is owning the material to transfer 10,000 numbers from this particular vendor storage location to my company's own storage location. From my company's own storage location, I will be issuing those bearings to the relevant production department person. For the quantities which I have taken, let us say today is, let us say, April 19th. During the April 19th, out of this 1 lakh pieces, I have taken 10,000 pieces and utilized in my production processes. Again, tomorrow, I have taken 1,000 numbers for my production processes from this stock. Day after tomorrow, I have taken again 1,000, and after that I have taken, let us say, 3,000 pieces. So for the month of April, a total of 15,000 numbers had been withdrawn. Whatever may be the total quantity that I have taken during the entire month, so let us say this is the April month quantity which I have taken from the vendor consignment stock. On first week of May, I will automatically process an invoice for the 15,000 quantity. Let us say each bearing is of 10 rupees. 15,000 multiplied by 10, 1 lakh rupees, 1,50,000 rupees invoice. I am going to settle it out to the vendor. Once in a month, I will be settling it out. So let us say you have taken 15,000 pieces. So your stock at the vendor storage location will become 85,000, right? For this 85,000, again, he will continuously monitoring the stocks. He will come to know that there is a 15,000 stocks that been issued to the company. Again, he will replace 15,000 over here. He will bring 15,000 bearings from his manufacturing location, and he will add it to the 85,000 stock which is already available. Then again the stock here will become 1 lakh. So like that, it is a continuous process where the vendor himself is monitoring the stocks, and he is trying to bring the stocks from his own manufacturing locations based upon the consumption of the materials that are taken place. Okay. How are we going to map this particular scenario in SAP terminology? We are going to map this particular scenario in SAP terminology known as one of the procurement process known as a consignment procurement process. What are the steps that are involved over here? So the steps are the 7 steps which we have discussed as a part of procurement cycle. But the main difference between the above, the subcontracting procurement process and the domestic and import procurement process, is the creation of the purchase requisitions and the purchase orders, and the financial documents are the accounting postings that are happening. So it also will have 7 steps. So what is the step number 1? Step number 1 is, it is a create purchase requisition. Create purchase requisition. Create purchase requisition. But how I am differentiating the consignment procurement process with the domestic or import or the subcontracting processes? While creating the purchase requisition, there is one thing known as the item category. So item category I will be selecting as K. K is nothing but consignment, so that my system will come to know that I am trying to do the consignment procurement process. Then there will be one more thing known as account assignment category. So the account assignment category for the consignment purchase requisition, I am going to keep it as a blank. If I put item category as K, my system will be automatically coming to know that you are going to perform the consignment procurement process, and it behaves in such a way. Okay, then what is the step number 2? The step number 2 is, if I wanted to do the vendor evaluation process, I can do the vendor evaluation process. And vendor evaluation process is not mandatory for some of the processes. If you want to have it, you can directly use any one of the existing vendor and create. So if you want to go for the vendor selection process, go for vendor selection process. If you want, you can skip this as well. What? Vendor selection means you want to buy. Vendor selection means there are multiple vendors, right? You want to buy one bearing or motor. There will be multiple suppliers in the market. Motor can be supplied by Kumar Pumps and KSB or Kirloskar. Out of this, you will take the quotations from each and every vendor for the motor. Whoever may be, you are going to compare those quotations. Whoever may be the vendor trying to give the best quality product and the low cost, you are going to select as one of the best selected vendor based upon the vendor selection process. Then what is the step number 2? Step number 4, step number 3 is the create purchase order or the contract, create procurement documents. So here also the item category will be K only, consignment. Means it's based upon your you can create contract if it is a regular material, or if it is a one-time procurement, you can go for the one-time procurement document creation purchase order, or you can go for the quantity contract or the scheduling agreement or the value contract based upon the volume of purchases you are trying to do. Then what is step number 4? Step number 4 is follow-up activity, that is monitoring. It is common for any procurement. You buy any bearing or any some needle, everything follow-up required. So follow-up is nothing but monitoring. Monitoring is fine for every procurement activity which you are going to do it. Then do the step number 4, step number 5 as a goods receipt process. So what is the implications of the goods receipt process for a particular consignment PO? If you do the goods receipt process for a consignment PO, there will be only quantity update in the inventory management module. Quantity update in the inventory management module, but no financial postings. Why there is no financial postings? We discussed, right? If you do a goods receipt, there will be two things. One is quantity update in the inventory management module. Parallelly, there will be a finance postings at the finance module. Yesterday we have discussed, right? Will you able to recollect what are the impacts of the goods receipt process? Can you recollect? See, quantity update in the inventory management module and the finance postings, right? Okay, but when you do the goods receipt for the consignment procurement process, only quantity update will be there, but no finance postings. Why there is no finance postings? Because it is a material owned by the vendor. It is not my company's own material. I am allocating some space within my company so that vendor will utilize that particular space and keep the materials over there. So when you do the goods receipt process, only quantity update, no finance postings for the consignment procurement process. Then what is step number 6? Step number 6 is not invoice verification process. 1 minute. So you do the goods receipt. Let us say you need to transfer the, let us say in my company, if I want to use these materials, it is a vendor owned material, right? When I will be able to use it? I will be able to use it only when a vendor transferred some stocks from vendor storage location to the my company's own storage location. That is nothing but a transfer posting. Transfer posting of vendor owned stocks to company's own storage location. Means I have the 1 lakh pieces of the materials available with the vendor. If I wanted to take some stocks, I need to transfer the vendor owned stock to my company's own stock. then only I will be utilized whatever may be the quantity I have transferred. So for that particular quantity, in systematically I need to transfer from the vendor own stock to company's own stock. If you transfer, let us say 1000 pieces from the company's own stock, then a liability will be generated. Means you have taken 1000 pieces. So as a company, you are liable to make the payment for 1000 pieces which you have withdrawn. So how you are going to settle that particular liability? That particular liability you are going to settle on monthly basis by creating one automatic invoice verification process, so known as automatic invoice creation process via MRKO. MRKO is the transaction code which you are going to use it for the automatic invoice verification process. But in case of normal scenarios like domestic or import procurement scenarios, you are going to use the invoice creation process by using MIRO. But here we are not going to use MIRO, we are going to use it MRKO. MIRO in domestic procurement process or any of the other procurement process. Then step number 8 is payment run or the payment program execution. When you do the payment run, the company's bank account will be getting debited and the vendor bank account is getting credited for the total invoice amount which you are going to process over here. So these are the steps that are involved in the vendor consignment procurement process. This is I am just giving you just for your understanding purpose. So any doubts on the vendor consignment procurement process? We are going to see how this particular scenario will be mapped in case of if you are trying to work upon SAP's materials management. Okay, then any doubts on the vendor consignment process? This is one of the process which will be mostly used in the outside world. Any doubts on the consignment procurement process from the line? Okay. Then what is the other procurement process? The other procurement process is nothing but a stock transfer orders. What is the stock transfer? Can anyone tell what is the stock transfer? What is the difference between the normal domestic procurement and between the stock transfer? Huh? Okay. So the stock transfer is here in case of the domestic procurement, what we did, there is a company and we have a external vendor, right? Company and external vendor. So the procurement is happening between two different parties. Each party is having their own entity. But in case of stock transfer orders, it is happening between two different plants, not against one plant and altogether a separate supplier. It is happening between two different plants. Sometimes the plants may be both the plants belongs to a same company code, or sometimes both the plants may be belongs to a different company code altogether. So in case of stock transfer orders, there are two varieties. We have intra-company stock transfer orders. Within the, what is intra-company? Intra-company means I have one Tata group. Let us say there is one company known as TA10, which is nothing but a Tata Motors Private Limited. Within the Tata Motors Private Limited, you have two manufacturing locations. One is Tata Motors Pune plant, and you have Tata Motors Bangalore plant. So both the plants belongs to a same company code altogether over here. If you are transferring a material from the Tata Motors Pune plant to Tata Motors Bangalore plant, so then this particular process can be called as a intra-company. Why? Because both the manufacturing locations belongs to a same company code over here. So I can call this as a intra-company stock transfer scenario. Okay, within intra-company stock transfer scenario, you have again 4 variants. So nothing but one is single step intra-company STO scenario. We will see what is single step STO, intra-company STO. STO is nothing but a stock transfer order, and two-step intra-company STO. So this is the variant number 2. So I can call it as a two-step intra-company STO. Then STO with no delivery and no billing. So intra-company STO without delivery and no billing. Intra-company STO without delivery and no billing. Then you have one more variant known as intra-company STO with delivery and no billing. Without delivery, with delivery and no billing. So these are the 4 variants which you will be able to find it out in case of the intra-company stock transfer orders. Then what is intercompany STO? Intercompany stock transfer orders. So in case of it, what is intercompany? What is intra-company? In case of intra-company, we have Tata Motors. Within the Tata Motors, we have 2 different plants, and the transfer of the materials is happening between 2 different plants. But in case of intercompany, one plant belongs to altogether a Tata Motors Private Limited. This is altogether a one company code. So the plant Tata Motors Pune belongs to altogether a separate company code known as Tata Motors Private Limited. And the plant number 2 belongs to a altogether a separate company code known as Tata Steel Private Limited. So if you are transferring the materials from one plant to another plant, and both the plants belongs to altogether a separate company code together, so I can call this particular scenario as a intercompany STO scenario. Sometimes you can transfer from Pune to Bangalore manufacturing plant, or sometimes you can transfer from Bangalore manufacturing plant to Pune manufacturing plant, depends upon your requirement. So in case of intercompany STO scenario, we have one variant known as the intercompany STO with HD delivery and HD billing. Okay, so it is intercompany STO with HD delivery and HD billing. With HD delivery, HD is nothing but the sales and distribution delivery and sales and distribution billing. So these are the 5 categories that are falling under the intra-company and intercompany STO scenarios. We will say what exactly the difference between the each and every scenario in our coming sessions. Are you able to understand what is stock transfer orders, or do you have any issues in understanding? Is it fine for everyone?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So then we
okay.
have one more scenario known as Let me see, the other scenario is scenario number 5. Scenario number 5 is pipeline procurement process. So what is pipeline procurement? Pipeline procurement is nothing but there are some pipeline materials. What are pipeline materials? Yes. So there are some pipeline materials like electricity. Electricity is one of the pipeline materials. So this is coming into our house via one of the medium known as the electric wire. So electric wire is acting as a medium over here. Then water will be coming to your home via pipelines. Also the cooking gas. If you go for Western countries, the gas also will be coming into your house via pipelines. Okay, so what will happen in case of the electricity? In case of the electricity, how that reading will be taken? Let us say for the month of April, for the month of March, how the reading of the electricity will be calculated? There will be one flow meter, electricity flow meter in each and every house. So let us say I want to take the total electricity units which I have consumed during the month of March. So what electricity people will do, they will see the reading as on 1st of March, right? As on 1st of March, the meter reading is, let us say, some 1000 units. On 31st of March, again they will come and they will take the reading. As on 31st of March, the reading will be, let us say, 2000. Then what is the net reading that I have utilized in my company? Okay, so the net electricity that I have utilized in my house is 2000 minus 1000. It will be 1000. So per unit, let us say they are charging 5 rupees. So what will be the electricity bill that will be generated? It will be 5000 rupees, right? Multiplied by 5, it will be 5000 rupees. So this particular bill I am going to settle on first week of April. So this particular process, how I am going to execute in SAP materials management, we will see as a part of pipeline procurement process. It will also have the 7 steps that are included in the procurement cycle, but the difference between the each and every step we will see when we are discussing the pipeline procurement process. Then what is service procurement? So service procurement, right? Yeah. Service procurement. Till here we have discussed regarding the material procurement. Material procurement we were discussed, but as a part of service procurement, we are going to procure the services. So what are the steps? You know, right? What is service and what is the material? Material means you will see, you will have the physical appearance of a particular material. But in case of service, you will not have any physical appearance. It is just a service which a vendor is trying to provide it to you, like machinery maintenance services or some of the other services, etc. What are the steps that are involved in the service procurement? How a system will be identified that you are going to do the service procurement? Following are the steps. Yes. So step number 1 is you are going to create a purchase requisition. How you will create the purchase requisition in case of the material procurement? Same way you are also going to create the purchase requisition over here. But how your system will come to know that you are doing the service? It is via item category. So create purchase requisition While creating the purchase requisition, you are going to put item category and account assignment category. So item category, you are going to put it as a D. D is nothing but a service. And account assignment category, you are going to put it as a K. K is nothing but a cost center. So this way, your system is going to identify that you are going to do the service procurement. Like how your system is going to identify that you are going to do the consignment procurement process, right? In case of the consignment procurement, you are going to put item category as K, but here the item category will be D, nothing but service, and the cost center is the account assignment category, nothing but K. Hmm? That is account as here I have used item category, right? Not account assignment category. Here I have put item category K. Okay, but here it is a account assignment category. It is account assignment category. The account assignment category is different and item category is different. Okay, you will come to know, don't get confused over here. I am just trying to give you a overview. Then step number 2 is step number 2 is the vendor selection process. So if you wanted to do the vendor selection process, you can select the vendor selection, or if you want to skip, you can skip the vendor selection process. This is not required for each and every process. Then step number 3. Step number 3 is the create purchase requisition or contract, anything based upon your requirement. If it is a one-time service procurement, you can create a simple purchase order, service purchase order. If it is a contract, services also can be done via contracts, right? You will have annual maintenance contract for the services, complete year. Whenever there is a breakdown happen, he will come and do it against that particular service. So if you want to create a one-time contract, you can create one-time procurement, one-time purchase order you can create, or you can have the annual maintenance service contract. Okay, so then you need to do the, in case of the service procurement, you are not going to do the goods receipt. No goods receipt process. Goods receipt, no goods receipt. So no goods receipt process, but instead of no goods receipt, you are going to create one thing known as a service entry sheet. Means, let us say if you go for the Hero Honda repair, what you will do, you will give your bike over there, they will repair it. After the repair is completely done, they will generate one sheet. Within that particular sheet, they will specify what and all the services they have done. Tire change, rim change, or any other wheel balancing or headlight change, whatever may be the services what they have done, some 10-20, they will list it down and they will prepare what is the total value of the service it has happened. So that is nothing but a service entry sheet. Once they prepared the service entry sheet, what you will do, you will verify that sheet, right? You will see, okay, this service is done or not. Everything you will verify, and then you will approve the service entry sheet. Nothing but SCS. SCS is nothing but a service entry sheet. Once you approve that particular service entry sheet, you will be going to make the payment. But in SAP, what will happen? when you do the approval of the service entry sheet, a goods receipt will be created automatically in the backend against the service entry sheet. You need not to create the goods receipt manually. It will be created automatically in the backend. So auto creation of goods receipt when a service entry sheet got approved. There is some approval mechanism will be there. Release strategy. There is something known as the release strategy. Okay, so if you go to ML81N, let me go to one of the transaction code. I will go to the SAP Online FE India 123. So I will go to the logistics, materials management, service entry sheet, collective release of the service entry sheet. So if I want to release, I created some 10 service entry sheets. I can release all service entry sheets in mass by using the ML85 transaction code. If I want to release individual service entry sheet, I will go to the ML81N. Okay, so there is one thing known as somebody created the service entry sheet. Let me see. So if I go to the change mode of this one, so there will be something known as a release, a revoke acceptance. Okay, we will see, but here we are going to accept or approve the service entry sheet. Once you approve the service entry sheet, it will automatically create a goods receipt in the back end. We will see those things when we are executing the service procurement scenario. Okay, let me go to this particular purchase order. Okay, so some issue over here, but you will see within the purchase order there will be a purchase order history tab over here. So that particular purchase order history tab will be automatically updated for the goods receipt. Okay, let me now try to see any one of the service purchase requisition or the order. So for the service, if I want to find out the service purchase orders, I need to put the item category as D. D is nothing but a service. You see over here there is something D, right? So D is nothing but a service, and account assignment category is nothing but K. K is nothing but a cost center. I will change the scope of list to ALV grid. I will try to execute it. See over here, so this is one of the service purchase order created by somebody. I will try to open this particular purchase order. I will go to ME23N. So 360118. Somebody deleted everything. Okay, so they restarted the system, means they refreshed the system. That is the reason entire data is now gone in this particular server. Okay, so this is nothing but a goods receipt which got created for the services. Okay, so this is not a service. 1 minute. This is something wrong PO, right? I want to see this one. 118. I think somebody deleted the purchase organization. That is the reason it is not displaying the purchase order. 3000118, right? 360118. Okay, somebody deleted the purchase organization. That is the reason. Huh? No, 6 zeros only, right? I think somebody deleted the configuration. That is the reason it is not working. Purchase organization 3000 not defined. Okay, let me show it to you. I will try to create. We haven't started anything in the system, so we will try to start soon. Okay, but let me try to show it to you how a goods receipt process will be done for the service entry sheet creation of a particular material. Okay, let me, somebody deleted the configuration, the backend configuration. I'm trying to maintain the backend configuration. Let me now save it. Okay, so I will now try to see it whether if it is available or not. Okay, see, so somebody created the service master service purchase order with item category as D and account assignment category as K. Okay, let me now go to the history of this particular service purchase order. What is happening there? So I will go to the item details. Here you see there is something known as the purchase order history. If you go to the purchase order history, so there is a service entry sheet, right? So this is the service entry sheet which got created. Once you accepted the service entry sheet, a goods receipt for the services which are performed will be created over here automatically. So this is the goods receipt document number. Once the goods receipt is processed, you are going to do the invoice verification and the payment run. Okay, we will see how to create a service entry sheet and all those things when we are discussing the service procurement process. Okay, so auto creation of the goods receipt when a service entry sheet got approved will be happening. Then as a step number 5, once the auto goods receipt is completed, I will be doing the invoice verification process for the services which I am trying to make the payment to the vendor. So invoice verification process. What is the transaction code here I am using? I am using the MIRO as a transaction code for the invoice verification process. Then step number 6. Step number 6 is payment run or the payment program execution. So these are the steps that I am going to use it as a part of service procurement scenario. We will see how these documents will be created, what are the mandatory configurations or the master data we need to maintain as a part of service entry sheet creation. Then what is the scenario number 7? Scenario number 7 is returnable transport packaging materials. Scenario number 7 is returnable transport packaging materials. Returnable transport pack materials. Materials procurement. What is the returnable transport material? What is the returnable transport material? Like in companies, there will be some materials like oxygen, right? Or nitrogen or acetylene. So these are the some of the materials you will order from one of the vendor. You are going to place the order only for the gas, oxygen gas, etc. But vendor, when he delivering the oxygen, he will be delivering along with the cylinder as a packaging material. Once you utilized this particular oxygen in your company production processes, whatever may be the cylinders that are becoming empty, you need to return back to the vendor. So how you are going to return these cylinders? How your system is trying to support the return back of the cylinders that are coming to your company as a part of returnable transport material packing material is known as a returnable transport material packaging process. So we will see what are the steps that are involved in this particular process, how system is identifying a particular process is a returnable transport material procurement process as a part of this scenario. Then what is scenario number 8? Scenario number 8. Scenario number 8 is a third party sales procurement process. What is third party sales? Third party sales is nothing but you as a customer, like it is Amazon or Flipkart, right? You placed the order for one of the TV. You will go to the Amazon portal and you as a customer place an order in the Amazon portal to buy the TV. So you are going to put a order on Amazon company, but Amazon is not the manufacturer of the TV. Whatever may be the order received by them from you, they will convert that particular order and again they will place one more order upon LG company. These people are just acting as a mediators, Amazon. You are going to place the order on Amazon company. Amazon is going to place the order on LG company and they will ask LG company to deliver the TV directly to you on behalf of them. You are going to make the payment to the Amazon company and Amazon going to make the payment to the LG company. Let us say you made a payment of 25,000, but Amazon will pay 22,000 over here. So by doing this particular activity, Amazon is going to get a profit of 3,000 rupees per TV. So this particular scenario is nothing but a third party sales procurement process or the scenario. Okay, like this we have 6 more scenarios. We will discuss those 6 more scenarios in our tomorrow session. Okay, so any doubts on today's session? Any doubts on today's session from the line?
Sir, one doubt. Myro and payment run will be done by accounts team only, right?
Yeah, payment run will be done by accounts department only.
Myro, sir?
Yeah, Myro also.
Okay, sir.
Invoice verification also will be done by the finance department only.
Okay.
Okay, so any other questions? Okay, so if there is no questions, we can meet tomorrow for the further discussions. Okay, thank you for joining the call. Bye bye. It is not standard, it is a customized process. Something is there as a standard, but if you wanted to have the complete functionality, you need to go for the enhancement. There are so many things required. there will be something known as a simple mail transfer protocol. There are so many settings we have to do it. It requires basis help, security team, so many people require. Huh? డన్నింగ్ ప్రాసెస్ ఇందులో మనం చేయలేము, ఎందుకంటే దానికి చాలా సెట్టింగ్స్ కావాలి. పై ఓవర్ వ్యూ చెప్పమంటే ఐ కెన్ గివ్ ఓవర్ వ్యూ, బట్ ఇఫ్ యూ వాంట్ టు ప్రాక్టికల్లీ డూ ఇట్ ఇన్ SAP, ఇట్ రిక్వైర్స్ సో మెనీ సెట్టింగ్స్. ఇంటర్నెట్ యాక్టివేషన్ ఉంటుంది, అవన్నీ ఉంటాయి, అవన్నీ లేవు కదా ఇందులో. కంపెనీలో చేయాలి, మీరు కంపెనీలో చేయాలి అంటే మీరు అవన్నీ చేయాలి. Okay, so we can close the session till here today. Tomorrow we can continue.